Stock up on your 3/4 inch elastic, grab your extra 2.5 inch pre-cut strips, or you can of course cut your own 2.5 inch wide strips. I'm also going to grab my toolbox that is full of key fob hardware and my brand new key fob pliers. In this video, I'm going to show you how easy it is to make scrunchy elastic key fob wristlets. Now I have become obsessed with scrunchy stuff. If you want to learn how to do scrunchy dog bandanas, check the link in the video description. But in this video, we are going to do scrunchy wristlets. I'm going to show you how to make them out of your 2.5 inch fabric scraps. I'm going to show you how to make them as loose or full as you want them to be, and how quick and easy these are to make. If you can believe it, these are even faster than the other way. So let's get into it. Now, I have to tell you, I am almost too excited about these scrunchy key fobs because I thought the regular key fobs were pretty quick and easy to make. These things, it should almost be illegal. The first thing I'm going to show you is your choices for how scrunchy you want them to be. So all three of these were made by taking 2.5 inch pre-cuts. They come all rolled up in a ball. It's a great way to get lots of fabric. Lots of quilters use them. And then you end up with like a whole bunch left. So I like to look for projects for how to use these. Scrunchy key fobs, perfect solution. This one was made with a half. Took the 2.5 inch strip, I sewed it together, and then I cut it in half, and I put half of it on top of the elastic, spread it out, added the key fob. So that is how scrunchy or full, or, I don't know what word you want to use, how gathered the fabric looks when you use half. So from one strip, I can make two that look like this. Then this one was the first one I did. And so I sewed the entire length, I put it on, and then I just kept pulling until it was kind of the scrunchie that I liked. And then I cut off the end. So for this one, I used 28 inches versus 21 inches on this one. So you can kind of see a difference. It's a little bit fuller, but for the difference, you might want to go with this so that you can make two out of every strip of fabric. Then I thought, well, what is it going to look like if we use the entire strip? So this is what it's going to look like. It's super gathered, and it's just one strip, put it all the way on, and there you go. So there's a definite difference in the look and the gathering doing the entire strip versus half or almost half. Now, another thing to remember when you're choosing your fabrics, don't worry about the direction of the fabric, because I did it first. This yellow one was made with chickens, kind of like this fabric. The print is going from the side, and I thought, well, when I sew it in half and put it on there, how's that going to look? It really doesn't matter because you can't really tell what is on this fabric. It is more the color combinations that you're seeing than the actual design. So that's kind of what you want to look for when you're using your scraps. Now this one, because these quilt blocks are a little bit smaller, you get a better idea of what they are versus the chickens. So just pick something where you like the color combination and you want to make a key fob out of it. So what other supplies do we need? We obviously need our 2.5 inch strips of fabric. These are pre-cuts. Now, if you're not a quilter or you never buy these, that's totally fine. You can cut your own pieces of fabric that are 2.5 inches wide by either 21 inches if you want it to look like this. This one is 2.5 inches wide by the full width of your fabric. So you're not left out if you're not a quilter or you don't have these pre-cuts, but people that have them, they always have extra. So I want to help them figure out how to use them. Then you're going to need the key fob hardware. This is 1 inch key fob hardware. Find the link in the video description to my Amazon storefront. I made a list that is everything you need to make these key fob wristlets. I highly recommend you invest in the pliers. You can use regular pliers, but they're usually not quite as wide. They don't have this silicone protective. You could dent the metal. This is perfectly sized and designed to work with these key fobs. If you're just starting, you can buy a set that has like 50 of these and the pliers included. So definitely worth the investment. Then I'm going to be using my tube turner. You can use whatever combination you want. I've recently had a couple people tell me that they use boba tea straws and a chopstick. So there's lots of different things that you can find that is basically going to be an open tube and then a chopstick. I'll show you how this works. This is from a set of 3 or 4. I can't remember. I believe it was under $10. I use them all the time and they're going to last forever. So great tool investment. And I don't drink boba tea, so I don't have the boba tea straw. And then 3/4 inch wide elastic. So all you need to do is go through your bin and decide what color you want. I'm going to do this color. No matter how full or loose you want them to be, I'll show you how that works, and you are going to be good to go. If you sew and sell, I think this would be a great way to go. You can offer the regular scrunchies where you can see more of the design, and then maybe offer some of these too. I would sell them at the same price. It's just a different look, but these are going to sew up a lot faster, so you're going to have a better profit margin on these. Now let's head to the sewing machine. So I'm taking my 2.5 inch wide strip of fabric. I'm going to fold it in half long ways, right sides together. I don't pin this together. I just fold it as I sew. I also don't worry about cutting off the selvage. I do that at the end. This way I can just grab these strips and just rock and roll, sew a bunch of them together, and then cut them to size and put the key fob hardware on them. So I'm going to sew all the way down this strip, making sure I keep these edges matched, and then I'm going to go straight across at the bottom. Now when I get to the end, I'm going to sew into the selvage band, this white section, because we are going to be cutting this off after we turn it right side out. We will need both ends open when we add the elastic and sew this together, but for turning purposes, we need to sew one end closed. So if you were sewing to sell, you could just sit and sew a bunch of these, and then you could take them and turn them right side out while you're watching TV or waiting for your kids for a doctor's appointment or at a sporting event, anywhere where you can just work with your hand. Now it is time to turn these right side out. I cut them apart. So I'm going to take my tube turner or whatever you're going to be using, find the end that is open, and I'm going to just put that in there and slide it till it gets to the sewn end. Then you're going to take the pointy end of your stick if you're using one of these tools, and you're going to push that in, and you're just going to pull the fabric down. Now, because it is really long, sometimes it gets a little tricky. As you're pulling this fabric down, the stick starts to come out, so just try and keep that up in there. We basically need the stick to absolutely stay in there. So we can see that the stick is there. You can just pull it really quickly because it doesn't matter where that is as long as our stick is up here. And this is more important that the stick be up here when you're doing something where you're going to keep that sewn edge. But because we don't want to lose too much of the length, we do want to just use that point to push that out a little bit. Now I'm just going to push the stick back out. Well, to be honest, I usually just stand up, hold it above my head, and that falls right down on the ground, but I can't do that over my workspace. Then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to trim the end. We don't need that anymore. That was just used to get it turned right side out. So now I'm just going to really quickly do the second one. Now I have some very exciting news. I hope you find this as exciting as I found it. The first two that I did, I was just so used to having to press these things open, right? If you're doing bag straps or anything, honestly, you're like, okay, now I need to press it open. And so I went and used my iron. And then when I was doing the third one, I thought, why am I doing that? Do I actually need to press it? Because I'm going to make it all scrunchy. So I thought, nope, I'm not going to press this one, and I'm just going to try putting it on the elastic without pressing. And guess what? It looked exactly the same. So no ironing for this project. That saves a ton of time. My favorite size key fob uses an 11-inch or a piece of elastic. So I'm just going to cut 2 pieces that are 11 inches. So we are ready to go. And we're going to do these 2 ways. So this one, I'm going to make 2 that are less scrunchy. So I'm going to trim the sewn end off, just like I did with the last one. And then I'm going to trim that selvage part off. You don't have to be super, super straight, be pretty straight, but this part is going to be inside the key fob hardware. So if I want to do half, I'm just going to match these ends, pull that in half, and cut. Now I'm taking a Big safety pin, you can use any size. This is a quilting size safety pin, and I like them because you can just move it a little bit faster. We're not ironing, but when you put it in, what I like to do is make the seam that we sewed centered on the elastic. I don't want it spinning all around. I don't want it too close to the edge. I want it centered so that we can then have it on the inside of the wristlet. And you can always twist it as you go if it doesn't stay super well. Don't stress about it. Don't spend a ton of time on it. But that's the goal. See, it got a little crooked, so I can just do that and get that seam lined back up. Now we're going to put this through until the end of our fabric is lined up with the end of the elastic. And now we're going to go back to the sewing machine. So with our elastic evened up with the edge of the fabric, we are going to sew forward, back, and forward about 1/8 of an inch from the edge just to secure the elastic with the fabric. And that will all be under the key fob hardware. And now I'm going to go back to my overhead shot and show you. So that is now secure. So we're going to keep pushing the fabric until we get the other end of the elastic lined up with the other end of the fabric. Now you want to keep this scrunchy part towards the center. Don't push it all the way down here. We need this to be nice and flat until we get the hardware on. Then we're going to spread it out. Don't spread it out before you put the hardware on. You want it kind of all scrunched in the center of your elastic. Okay, take that safety pin off. Now I'm going to go back to the sewing machine and attach that in the same way. So now we have it sewn on both ends. I am going to trim these ends to make sure they're straight, make sure there's not a bunch of threads. We want to get all of these threads off of here. We're going to match these edges. I'm going to go back to the sewing machine. I'm going to sew those together one more time just to make sure one part isn't going to slip out and that this is going to be a set. Okay, now I feel good about that. It's going to stay together. It's not going to move or get unaligned when I am putting it in the hardware. Now, there's some different ways to do this. You can put it on the fabric, then get your hardware on there and squeeze. Some people take this keychain off because they find then it doesn't get in the way. I don't like doing that because I often break my nails when I do that, and it's just an extra step. So I like to put the key fob in my pliers and I line it up with the top edge. And I make sure the points are on the bottom. And you can see this is out of the way. It's not going to bother me. Then I'm going to put the fabric inside and I'm going to double check each side to make sure the fabric isn't poking over one side or the other of the hardware. And then I'm going to squeeze. Now you'll see it still feels like there is a bit of a gap. And I have that problem mostly with the elastic version, not as much with the fusible fleece version because that's more pliable. So then what I do is I come back and I squeeze each side again. So you can see that is a little bit tighter on this side than on this side. The last thing you need to do is just push the fabric so that it's evenly scrunched, gathered. I don't know, what word would you use for this? So it's spread out evenly and looks super cute. That was so fast. So let's do this one and we'll do the entire one. So we'll do the half fabric and we'll do the full fabric to really see the difference between the two. One thing that I love about key fobs is I just don't think you can have too many, right? They're kind of an accessory. So this makes a great stocking stuffer, a great gift for teachers, for service providers, like if you get your nails done or your hair done and you just want to make them something a little bit special. People can have multiple keychains. They could have a summer one, a holiday one, fall, winter. I mean, you could just keep moving your keys based on the season, or even if they have enough, they could change their key fob based on the color that they're wearing. Totally up to them. So let me know in the comments while I do this scrunching who you might make these for. Now, if you wanted to add a tag to your scrunchies, maybe just, for branding, if you're sewing and selling, or just so people know that you made it, this is a 1-inch tag that I had made years ago, woven, and I'm just going to put it on the inside and then fold that over And I'm going to make sure that we're going to catch that when we sew that closed. So there's lots of cute tags that you can purchase online. You can make your own. I'm going to do another video about how to make your own tags. But see, now that's going to be on the inside. Next step, grab my pliers, put my hardware in there, put my fabric in, make sure it is lined up, and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Then I'm going to do my extra squeeze on each side. So it's almost done, but you can see now it looks like a heart. It's kind of weird because we need to get this fabric evened out. Half a piece, a full piece. And then I want to show you again the fabric that these started with. So this one is from my spring barn fabric, and you can see little pieces of it, but you can't really tell what it is. It's more just kind of colors along there. And then this one was made from this fabric. You can actually tell that those are the little circle windmills better because it isn't gathered as much and because it is a simpler pattern. But either way, they look great, and it is a great way to use your fabric scraps. So let me know which way you like better, who you're going to be making these for, and happy sewing.